it's not for any other reason than it's divine timing, because you have been going through it. They did you dirty and then had the audacity to play the victim. Listen here, chosen ones. God says, He witnessed their betrayal, their lies, the schemes they used to twist things in their favor. They thought they could get away with it, but God had already warned them to leave you alone. And now their consequences are coming. And this message is urgent, they say, because justice is coming. And while they might still be trying to play the victim, God knows the truth. They set you up, they spread lies, and they did everything in their power to destroy your reputation. These weren't just petty rumors. They went out of their way to make you look like the villain, dragging your name through the mud, trying to tarnish everything that you worked for. They wanted people to look at you differently, to make you seem untrustworthy. Even going as far as to place legal charges on your back, trying to mark you with a permanent stain of shame and guilt. And it didn't stop there either. They didn't just stop at your reputation. They targeted every aspect of your life. They tried to poison your relationships and did, whispering lies into the ears of people that you trusted. Their plan was to isolate you, to make you feel completely alone. They wanted you to doubt yourself, to question everything that you believed in, and they knew that by dragging your name through the mud, they could make others question your integrity, and that's exactly what they did. Spreading rumors that cut deep, targeting your very, very core. Chosen ones, though, you need to remember this. No matter how deep their deception goes, the truth always finds its way to the surface. And in their attempts to ruin you, they've actually revealed more about themselves. And the very lies that they told about you are a reflection of their character. They thought their schemes were foolproof, but what they didn't frickin' realize is that every seed of deceit that they planted has been growing into their downfall. They underestimated your strength, and actually, God says they underestimated His protection in your life. After all of their dirty deeds on you, they flipped the script, and all of a sudden they were crying victim, making it seem like you had caused problems. They twisted the whole narrative so expertly that most people probably even believed them. It's like watching somebody set something on fire and then acting like they're the ones that got burned. But chosen ones, listen to the truth. The divine saw everything, all of their deception, even when they had others convinced that they were innocent. God knew and was watching. They were masters of manipulation, and every move was calculated, not just to harm you, but to position themselves as this victim. They painted this picture as themselves being the ones that were wrong, casting themselves in this sympathetic light. In their version of events, they were the ones suffering, being unfairly targeted, and for what? And for a while, most people believed them, and you were left standing in the ruins of this reputation that they destroyed. God doesn't just see actions, though. He sees intentions. And so while they were playing the victim to the world, the divine was watching who was responsible for this chaos, seeing through the facade. They didn't fool the divine. And so it might seem to you and to them that they got away with things, but rest assured by this message that the scales of justice are tipping back in your favor. The masks are falling, and soon everyone will see them for who they truly are. They were fooled before, but God was not fooled. And every time they came towards you, their attention grew from the divine. And as every single other person turned against you, God wants to remind you that whether or not you acknowledge a relationship with the divine, you were never alone. Everything was being documented. Every single thing. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer. They heard it all. And God doesn't just watch passively. God is a God of justice. And when He sees His chosen ones being attacked, He moves mountains. So it might have felt like you've been standing alone in this storm, but I promise you, God has been setting things in motion behind the scenes. What you thought was this season of silence was preparation. And it wasn't even necessarily for you, even though it was. God was preparing to flip every lie, to flip every false narrative, and to bring you out stronger than ever. In those moments when you were wondering if anybody would ever see the truth or help you or be on your side, God was working. He was placing people in the right places, people that would stand by your side at the right moment. And your enemies were really clever, God says, but he didn't miss a beat. And divine justice is here. Hi. Their attacks weren't random, you guys. They were calculated, fueled by spite and jealousy. They saw your light, your potential, and it scared them. And rightfully so. They couldn't handle the greatness that you held within you. So instead of working on themselves, they literally focused their energy on trying to snuff your light out. Jealousy is a powerful force, and when they realized that they could never compete with you or your spirit, they tried to destroy you. It wasn't about anything that you did wrong. It was about their deep-seated insecurities. The truth is, they were envious of everything you represent, your strength, your resilience, your unwavering faith. You didn't have to pretend to be something that you weren't. And that threatened them because they don't know who they are. They couldn't stand to see you rise, to see you succeed, to see you rise above the limitations that they tried to place on you. Every time that you excelled, it reminded them of their shortcomings. And instead of working on their own flaws, they attacked you further. And their jealousy is a reflection of this inner turmoil. Your spirit made them uncomfortable. Your light exposed their darkness, and they can't handle that. They couldn't figure out why, despite their best efforts to bring you down. You just continued to rise. Their jealousy blinded them to the reality that your greatness might be God-given, something that they could never take from you. They thought that they could snuff out your flame, but in trying to do so, it burns brighter and brighter and brighter. In their twisted minds, they actually thought they were untouchable. They actually thought they could just do whatever they wanted to you and that no one would catch on to these schemes. They acted behind these closed doors, confident that no one would see their true nature. They even thought, the divine wasn't paying attention, that everything was going unnoticed. God really wants to tell you guys that he doesn't miss a fucking thing, especially when it comes to the chosen ones. There's no hiding. They thought that they were above reproach. Arrogance is their downfall. They reveled in their sense of power, thinking that they could just manipulate situations and people to their advantage without consequence. They looked down on you, thinking that they could outsmart both you and God. Their arrogance was frickin' blinding, thinking they were immune to accountability. But chosen ones, never forget, God humbles the proud. They felt invincible for a time, he says, but now reality is closing in on them. That false sense of superiority is being shattered. The very people that walked with their heads held so high in arrogance will struggle to keep up any appearances. They thought they could hide behind their lies forever, God says. And the curtains are about to be pulled back. The time has come for everyone to face the truth. And some of them are starting to realize now that no amount of pride will be able to shield them from their consequences of their own actions. Now that these masks are falling, it's time for you to rise, chosen ones. The Obsidian Inner Circle, powered by Astral Atom, is a space where chosen ones come together. They rise above illusions. Yeah, see Kaufman here. As they scramble to keep up illusions, we're stepping into a truth of unshakable power. No more pretending, no more false superiority. This is where authenticity reigns. In the inner circle, you're not just going to watch as the truth unfolds. You're going to be equipped to create your own destiny, free from the lies that were holding you back. They might be falling apart, but you're rising stronger than ever. And in the inner circle, we're not just talking about change, we're living it. Uncensored content, powered manifestation, everything that you can do, right? Like, people on the right path aren't clinging to pride. I'm talking to chosen ones who are seeing beyond the surface, who are actually ready to step into your divine calling. Trust me when I say you are ascending higher than you ever thought possible. If you are embracing your truth and leaving the illusions behind, God is here with you right now. Messing with you, God's chosen one, was their biggest mistake, and they are starting to feel the weight of their actions. Their plans are crumbling everywhere, and they're realizing that what they did to you is coming back to them. What they thought they were getting away with this whole time is now turning into their worst nightmare. The tables are turning, that's what I'm hearing, and they're beginning to see the consequences of their action unfold right before their very eyes. Their rude awakening has arrived, and it's coming in waves, God says. The very schemes that they crafted are unraveling. The web of deceit is collapsing. People are beginning to see through these lies, and the support that they had is fading away. What they once were counting on, manipulation, deception, arrogance, it's now their own downfall. They're losing the grip that they thought they had, and the world around them is no longer being fooled by their bullshit. Their lives are now marked by the very chaos that they've imposed on you. What they intended for your absolute destruction has now become the source of their suffering. Their rude awakening is not just about the consequences that they're facing, it's about the realization that they messed with someone who is divinely protected. They're now awakening to the fact that they can't fight against God and the divine and God's chosen and come out unscathed. These people that have been thinking they escaped these consequences, their minds are going to be in constant turmoil. Half of them can't even sleep right now, but they're not admitting it. Replaying the things in their heads, wondering where they screwed up. And it's not out of remorse. They're just facing their inner demons because it's sort of guilt, but it's more shame. And no matter how much they try to distract themselves, they can't shake it. They thought they were free, but they know, they feel something coming. The mental anguish that they are going to continue to experience is a direct result of their betrayal. Straight up betrayal. Every lie they told, every time they twisted the truth, it's coming back in ways that God says they never expected. Their actions might have been hidden from others, but they're not going to be able to hide from themselves. God says it's going to be in their conscience more and more and more. And the more that they try to suppress it, the more it'll become, bigger it'll become. Trapped in their own minds, unable to escape the consequences of their choices. They thought they could move on with their lives as if what they had done to you was nothing. No. God says this will follow them everywhere they go. They might try to put on a brave face in public, but behind closed doors, they are crumbling. Every sleepless night, every moment of regret, every moment of fear is a moment that they can't outrun the spiritual and emotional weight of what they've done to a chosen one. Their actions have left them spiritually stuck. They thought they could harm you and keep progressing with their lives, but it doesn't work that way. God is not allowing them to prosper spiritually because of their wickedness. They're stuck in this cycle of stagnation. Every time they tried to tear you down, they were really just building their own spiritual prison. So now while you have been growing and thriving, they will continue to be left behind, unable to progress. And this stagnation extends beyond the spiritual, God says. It's seeping into every single area of their lives. Their relationships are faltering, their ambitions are stalled, and their once clear path has become totally clouded. They're frustrated, wondering why nothing seems to be working out for them. But the answer is pretty simple. You can't plant seeds of destruction and expect to reap blessings. Their lives are paralyzed. They're going to be stuck in a standstill as a direct consequence of these evil actions. And what they don't realize is that this stagnation is divine justice. God says he's blocking every avenue of progress for them until they confront what they've done. While you're ascending, they're stuck watching you rise while they remain to lose everything. They thought they were building an empire, their own success, but in reality, they were constructing their own walls, trapping themselves in a prison of spiritual and emotional stagnation. What they thought they could escape is coming back tenfold, God says. Every single lie, every single betrayal will come full circle, and they will deal with the consequences in the forms of illness, financial ruin, and mental turmoil. Karma doesn't miss a beat. When they came after God's chosen, they set themselves up for absolute disaster. And now they will be living through the mess they created, and there will be no way out until they face the full extent of their karma. The karmic retribution they're facing is not just a fleeting punishment. God says this is a full-scale unraveling of everything they once held dear. Finances collapsing, opportunities slipping through their fingers, and relationships deteriorating, health deteriorating. Every time they try to harm you, they unknowingly planted these seeds of destruction for themselves. What they sowed in malice, they are now reaping and suffering. And here's the thing about karma. It doesn't come in the way that they expect. It shows up in the areas that they thought they were solid and safe, hitting them where it hurts the very most, just like they did to you. They thought that they could control their destiny and yours, and they're now realizing that their every action had a consequence. The wheel of justice is turning, and it won't stop until they face the full weight of their choices. They wanted to break you, but in the end, they've broken themselves. As a chosen one, you are protected by divine power, whether you knew it or not. They thought they could break you, but they did not realize that by coming against you, they were coming against God, the divine, themselves. Their hand of protection is over your life. No matter how hard these people tried, they could never truly harm you. Yes, of course, they could cause pain. but they couldn't destroy you truly. God's protection has truly shielded you from their worst intentions. From the very beginning, God had the angels all around you, guarding you from these attacks, strengthening you from within. What they intended for evil, the divine used for good. And in your weakest moments, God was strengthening you behind the scenes, using every attempt they made to tear you down to make you stronger, fortifying these walls of protection within and around you. And they didn't realize it by attacking you. They were fighting a losing battle right from the get-go. God's protection doesn't just cover you physically, it shields your spirit, your mind, your purpose. They tried to break your spirit, but you keep getting stronger. They tried to shake your faith, but your faith only grew deeper. Every blow they delivered was absorbed by the divine armor that is placed within you and around you. You're untouchable, and not because of your own strength, which is much, but because of the strength of the divine, of God. God's justice might seem slow in the third dimensional reality, but it's sure. Those that tried to harm you are already starting to feel the weight, I promise, and they will not escape this. They played the victim, God says, but the truth is coming to light. God's judgment is final, and they will not be able to run from it, he says. What they did in darkness will be brought into the light, and that is just the way it is. They will be facing the consequences of their actions. They might have thought they could manipulate their way out of accountability. God's judgment doesn't work that way. He doesn't forget. He doesn't overlook the wrongs done to his chosen ones. Every scheme, every lie, every act of betrayal is being weighed and has been weighed, and the justice is now in motion. They might have been able to deceive others, God says, but his judgment is swift and eternal. The beauty of God's justice is that it's fair. They will receive exactly what they deserve, no more, no less. There's no escaping it, no fucking negotiating, no pleading. It's inevitable, and they are starting to feel its effects already. What they thought they could avoid is catching up to them. It's here now. And while they might try to continue their charade, the truth is going to continuously come out. God's justice cannot be outrun. While they're suffering these consequences of their actions, you're being elevated. You're in a place of peace. God cut these people out of your life for a reason, not the other way around. He saw the evil in their hearts and removed them from your vicinity. And now while they are stuck in their shit mess, you are going to continue to rise. You've been elevated. And your heart, which has remained pure throughout all of this, has led you to a place of divine favor. God's granted you peace. You don't have to worry anymore about these people that are coming against you. Your peace is a testament to God's faithfulness. Even in the midst of the worst storm, you had this calm that surpasses all understanding. While they are tormented by their own actions, you're going to be resting in this knowledge that God has things under control. You don't have to carry this burden of their betrayal. God is taking that weight from you. You're free to focus on your purpose, your growth, your future. God's peace isn't just about the absence of conflict. It's about the presence of his divine favor in your life. You are rising, chosen one, because you stayed faithful, because you stayed true. You didn't allow their actions to corrupt your heart. So God is elevating you to new heights, granting you favor and blessings that they can't touch. Your peace is a reflection of your victory over them, a victory that was written before they even began these attacks. You're going to continue to shine brighter than ever before, while they will be stuck in the consequences of their own actions. You'll be thriving. They thought they could break you, but all they did was make you stronger. You know this. You're more aligned spiritually. You're stronger. You're more focused than you've ever been. The attacks they sent your way elevated you. Your glow, your strength, it's undeniable, and your growth is a direct result of the challenges that you faced. What they put in to break you, God used that to build you. Every struggle, every betrayal, it shaped you to who you are sitting here right now, stronger, wiser, more connected to your purpose. They thought they could literally snuff your light, and all they did was increase your shine. Now they're going to watch from the sidelines as they witness the very thing that they feared. The fullness of your power, your greatness, your living proof that no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Their attempts to destroy you only serve to highlight your resilience. You're shining brighter because you didn't let their shit define you. You rose above. You rose above the negativity, and now you're walking in the light of your purpose. Your elevation is not just physical, it's spiritual. You're walking in a higher realm, guided by God's divine plan for your life. Let go of whatever negativity they imposed on you. Their evil deeds aren't your burdens anymore. God's taking care of absolutely everything, and you are free. Let go of the pain, the anger, the bitterness. Just continue to rise. Your future is way too bright to be weighed down by their darkness. Move forward in your purpose, unburdened by the evil. Yeah, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what these people did to you. It just means releasing the hold that their shit had on you. By letting go of it, you're not excusing their behavior. You're just choosing to move forward without the weight of their shit, their energy dragging you down. You've got better things to do now, chosen one. Your growth, your purpose, your calling are way too important to let this bitterness of these past and the past people and their evil deeds hold you back for one more moment. The more you release the past, the more your rise will accelerate. The more you release, the higher you rise. God is taking care of your enemies. He says, do not carry their negativity with you. Past is done, and your future is filled with divine blessings, favor, and growth. So please keep going forward, knowing that if you even stumble and go another step or two because of this, you know what's coming for you and what's coming for them. Don't even let it weigh you down, not even for 2 seconds. God is blessing you favor, elevating you. Everything they meant for your downfall has been used by God to lift you higher, to propel you forward, and now you will be reaping the rewards for staying true to you, to your path. God's rewards for your faithfulness are overflowing in abundance. Every challenge you faced, every trial you endured will be met with divine blessings equal. You stayed the course, and now you will receive blessings more than you can imagine. You know that the pain you went through was an unimaginable amount of unfairness. God is a God of justice. You will get what you deserve. Everything they took from you will be restored. Oh, he says not what you deserve, more. Tenfold. God says his favor is upon you, and the rewards of your perseverance are evident in every single area of your life. And if you haven't seen it yet, stay with God. It's here now. Be true. Keep walking in faith. I promise you, God's rewards are far greater than everything they could ever steal from you. And I myself, they've stolen everything from me, my children included. I promise you. I know that God created a soldier with their shit on me, and I promise the same is true for you. Your victory has been written, and their downfall is inevitable. Trust in God's timing, and know that as you continue to rise, you will watch them continue to fall. Keep your heart pure. Stay focused on your path, and watch how God moves in your favor, because he's going to be using you for them to watch the same. Thanks for being here, you guys. This had to come out. It was like very intense, but I'm glad that I could share this message, and I know that it will reach who it's meant for. The divine. It's got this. It's got you. Love you guys.